Hello to forum members. This is quick overview of my rig for my band and for doing live sound. I'm just going to go pretty quick through this all. I'm sure you can recognize what it is. This is a Peavey 16FX board, and below I have a Furman power conditioner with the lights and voltmeter in the front. I have the latest feedback Ferret D. QF131, so it's a one-channel 31 band EQ. We got two of those. Those are set on aux 1 and 2, and then below it is the QF215, which is plugged into aux 3 and aux 4 respectively. Now the feedback ferret I have connected last in the chain. Quick overview on the back. Here's a little snake I made. It's aux 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's a tip ring sleeve, and it goes out to each of the equalizers here and to their inputs. And for aux 1 and 2 specifically, I have the outputs of the equalizers going into the input of the feedback ferret. So the feedback ferret is the last in the chain. The reason I set it up this way is because anyone that's doing sound should be ringing out the monitors first, and feedback ferret is not a crutch to be used, but it's for panic mode. If if your singer drops his elbow in front of the microphone in front of the wedge, this feedback ferret's going to catch it. So for today's quick demonstration, one of the forums was asking about the feedback location feature of the QF series equalizers. Now, you gotta have a 31 band. There's nothing that you can get past that. You really need to have a 31 band if you're going to have a wedge monitor. I could see getting away with it if you have an in-ear monitor, then you can use the 2x15. And here's why. Simply, you have more bands. And for an example, say if I wanted to, like right here, and I know you guys can't see it too well, so I'm just gonna. This is the 1K 1000 hertz, and then 1.6 kilohertz there. Those two. And then you look on the you're looking on the frequency bands for the 31 band, you have 1K, 1.25K, and then 1.6. So what I've done is I bypassed the feedback ferret so it doesn't notch it out. I have the EQs enabled with the 40 hertz low filters there, the high pass filter. So I'm going to also show I have the USB cable sent to my computer running Audacity version 1.3. And if you ever do get one of these pop-up cases, you are going to have to do some routing work in order to get to the USB ports here. And that's my phone. So I have it hooked up here. And another quick thing, some people have asked me about the multi-channel recording. I do have a Korg D3200 12-channel hard disk recorder, and normally the way I have this set up, it's 12-channel XLRs. All the instruments are going to be connected here, whether it be a microphone or a DI box. You do have your inserts above on the top here, and then you have your line inputs, which are balanced as well, tip ring sleeve. What I usually do is I have a 12-channel tip ring sleeve to tip ring sleeve male-to-male recording snake that I do pull these out. It does pull this, whatever's coming into the microphone does get paralleled out of these, which I then use the snake to send the signal to my recording board. I'm able to capture 12 tracks at once. This is the perfect size, 12 channels of XLRs. Now the only thing I've had to make an exception with the little ingenuity is that these two wires, these are on the two stereo channels. Stereo channels, you can either use the left and right inputs, or you use the XLR inputs. So I wanted to have the ability to keep everything in a balanced configuration, because we all know that unbalanced is unprofessional. So I run these down to a mic splitter isolator. It's got a transformer in it. So if I wanted to provide phantom power to any of it's usually for the condenser microphones. I really haven't had an opportunity to use this so much, but this is where the input, technically the output comes into play. And if you have one side that has phantom power, one that doesn't, and this will go out to my recording board with a tip ring sleeve female connector. So what I'm going to do right now for today's demonstration, so this video doesn't get too long, is I'm going to play a pure sine wave tone through Audacity, which it does have monitoring capabilities. Here I'm going to play, it's a 1.25 kilohertz pure sine wave tone, and I'm just going to show you the drawbacks of having a 2x15 versus a 131 band. Not necessarily for the feedback location, but what happens if you don't have as many bands. You can't chop up the frequency band as much as with the 15 band. So let's play this tone. So there's the tone, you can kind of hear it. I have the volume down. So I have it routed through this channel. I got negative 15 dB. So right off the bat, you could see that the 1.25K fader and the feedback location is coming up. But if you look on the 15s, it's right in between the 1K and the 1.6K. So say if you were to, cut those frequencies down, you're going to be cutting out a lot more of the frequency band than you should, and it takes away from the total signal, and then the singer or whoever's in front of the monitor is going to say, hey, what'd you do? Turn down the volume, turn it back up, and then you run out of headroom pretty quick. So that is the only drawback with having a 2x15. I usually use this for the drummer, and this one for for in-ears, but I really don't use the aux4 that much. So that's a pretty quick overview. If anyone has any questions, please let me know, and hope this video was helpful. Thanks.